have to, tip our caps to Baylor. They played a terrific second half. It's a great team. I was talking to Coach Henson earlier this week before we left, and Coach told me that you're going to have to play well, but they're going to have a bit of an off night. And we didn't catch them on an off night. They went 14 for 14 from the free throw line in the second half. They made a lot of two-point jump shots and just made a lot of plays. So you got to give Baylor credit. I thought we played well. I thought we ran out a little bit of gas there, particularly towards the end of the second half. But that has nothing to do with how hard these guys work or how much they care. It was just a little bit of maybe just running on a little bit of fumes from 3 games in 3 days last week. But an amazing opportunity for us. Unfortunately, the margin of error in games like this is really, really small. And we just had a couple of miscues here and there, missed some free throws here and there. And, again, tip your cap to Baylor. They were terrific.
Questions for anyone on the dais? Start right there in the middle. Thank you.
Jeff Grammer, Albuquerque Journal. For both players, you guys aren't exactly a program that needed to do much rebuilding or anything, but does this season give you to a sense of kind of a launching off point and maybe a foundation moving forward? It was Paul's first year, and you guys have been to 5 out of the last 6 tournaments, but was there a sense of kind of building something for the future with what happened this season?
Ian, start us off, please, and Braxton will follow.
I think so. I think, but this year we wanted to get here and make some noise. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that, but I think the future looks bright for New Mexico State, and hopefully there's something that we can build on for the future.
I agree. We came in hoping to get a win, and we need to build on. We need to learn from this loss and take it to next year.
Mark Rudy, Las Cruces Sun News for Ian and Braxton. How special was this season for you guys? Coach always said this was a special team, and you guys accomplished a lot of things that hadn't been done at New Mexico State in a while.
Braxton, you're first this time, please.
I agree. This season is very special, not only because the wins, like the 20-game winning streak, just because of all the hard work we put in. And first day of practice at White Sands, I'll never forget. I remember that day like it was yesterday, throwing up like so many times. I never thought it would end. And we made it here just because all that hard work we put in.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a pretty special season. We did some pretty good things throughout the course of the season. So definitely a lot of up and downs. Coming into the season, I'm sure people didn't know what kind of team we would have. We didn't even know what kind of team we would have. And I just, I love the way we all came together as the season went on, and we did this thing together.
Andy Morgan, NBC in El Paso. Paul, these guys talking a lot about, happy to be here, and I know that for you it wasn't just happy to be here, but being able to win a game and get past the first round and possibly the second round. How does this program take that next step as a team that can make some noise in the tournament?
Yeah, there's probably a time and a place for those conversations, but right now I treated this, I think the only fair way to do this as a coach, particularly to Ian, was to treat this like it was my senior year too. And we just went pedal to the metal all year long, like this was the last year we were ever going to play together. And at some point we'll pick up the pieces and start to work towards next year. But I really don't want to get into that right now. To me, this is about appreciating, enjoying this team and what this team did. And I don't want to look past the contributions of what this team was able to do together. I'm really proud of them.
Question in the middle, then we have 2 more.
Chad Conine, the Sports Exchange. Coach, you guys had 5 points the first 6 minutes of the second half. Was that due to them coming out of their zone defense and playing more man at that juncture, or what was the biggest factor?
Yeah, we got some empty possessions there at the free throw line early. I thought that hurt us. I liked our man-to-man offense in the first half as well. Baylor just kind of came out and locked it up a little bit. You got to give them credit. They did a really good job, and unfortunately, we just weren't getting stops at the other end. They scored 53 points in the second half. It was just we had to get more stops. I think if you told me based on where Baylor was defensively, we were going to shoot 44% and score 73 points and get more shot attempts than they were, I would have probably taken it. We just didn't get enough stops, particularly at that beginning part of the second half. I think they had 22 points in the first two medias. So I guess both kind of went together, but you got to give Baylor credit. They were terrific in that early part of the second half.
For the players, and Paul, I also want you to answer this. They have two guys come off the bench, obviously two guys that I'm sure were on the scouting report, but you guys were able to kind of contain the starters, especially in the first half. Did the guys coming off the bench, Maston and Freeman, that catch you guys off guard at all, that they had that kind of game and that kind of impact?
Braxton, you'll start, Ian will follow, and Paul will take up the rear.
No, it was kind of the game plan. We wanted to take the ball out the best players' hands and kind of make the role players try to beat us. And in the second half, Jonathan Motley, he just came in and he scored a couple buckets on us and got opened up the lead.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. I think that's what makes Baylor a good team. Even when their best players don't really have it going, they had other pieces that can come and fill in, the void that I guess they're missing from their best players. So our job coming into the game was try to contain not only their best players but everybody. We just didn't do that good of a job of letting their role players kind of get it going as the game went on.
Yeah, these guys hit on it. I don't have a second half only box, otherwise I'd look a little bit at that. But Freeman's usually a starter. He made some threes in the first half. He was really good. We knew he was a good shooter. And Maston came in and made some shots. And like these guys said, that was the game plan going in. We wanted to let these other guys beat us. And then Motley was kind of fresh in the second half and really kind of came out with some pop. So, the game plan in general was something we liked. It just didn't actually get executed to the complete degree, I guess.
We have 5 minutes left. Next question's right here.
Paul, Motley didn't play the final 9 minutes of the first half because of foul trouble, but it seemed like he made a difference in the second half when he got back in. How much of a difference did he make against you guys with their length and their size?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's an all-conference player. He's big, he's strong, he's long. I thought his three-point shot was a really big shot for them. That's not ordinarily a shot that he's making. I thought the guys did a really good job of keeping him off the glass and doing some good things. He kind of got some stuff towards the back of the press and at the end of transition, which is where we were in that lull offensively, and we just couldn't get anything to go down. So, again, credit to him, credit to them. It's a good team and a great player.
This is Derek Gonzalez from the New Mexico State Roundup. Coach, from the beginning of the year to now, where do you think the biggest growth was for your team?
I don't even know how much I've told these guys. When we went into the season, we had this plan, this idea of where we were going to go, and I don't know if any of us really knew it was going to work, but we just all got in the boat together and decided to give this thing a run. And, this team, I just told them after the game, has taught me a lot about emotion and energy and togetherness and those values that maybe some people think is lost. It's not lost. It's real, and I learned that it's real from these guys. We beat a lot of teams this year that we weren't supposed to beat. We beat a lot of teams that were flat out better than us. We were trying to do it against one more team tonight, and we were trying to do that with, I think, what we showed for 20 minutes, which is a team that just plays really hard and together. And, to bottle that was a lot of fun for me. I think it was really fun for them, and it made it a really great year. It sucks the way it ends. I wish we had a different ending to all this, but I think whenever we sit back and look back at the season, you think about the successes that we have had, we're all going to look back on this team really fondly one day and have memories for a long, long time.
Right back there.
You talk about memories, Paul, and this is for Ian as well, being a senior. What will be your biggest memory and takeaway from this year's team?
Ian first, then Paul, please.
I don't really think I know how to answer that question right now. I got to kind of sit back and, reminisce on the season. But so many things happened this year that it's kind of hard to answer that question right now.
Yeah, I'm with Ian. We had some fun times, man. To beat New Mexico at home for the first time in 10 years was terrific. To beat a Power 5 team on the road for the first time in nearly 25 years was terrific. We finally beat a Mountain West team. we were on death's door after the Utah Valley game and came together in the locker room and went on a run after that. I mean, I could go on and on with these guys and the memories we'll all have. I don't know if there's really one that stands out.
Final question right here.
For Ian and for Paul too. Ian obviously closed a great career for you at New Mexico State. How much fun did you have at New Mexico State? Maybe what will you remember most about your career? And Paul, same with you about Ian. You've said that he's the best point guard you've ever coached, and what will you remember about Ian's career?
Ian first, please.
I would say my 4 years at New Mexico State, I had a blast. I can't really, like I told him, I just can't really, I don't know what would be my most memorable thing at New Mexico State. I'm gonna have to take some time and sit back and just think about everything that happened. But overall, I love my experience that I had at New Mexico State. I'm glad I came there. Like I told, I told one of these people here the other day that in a million years I would have never thought I would have ended up at New Mexico State, but it was the place for me, and I'm glad that I ended up there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that had to sacrifice this year, it was going to be Ian. You have a new coach, a new system, new players. Eli, Braxton, City, guys like that. They were excited because they were getting to play now. Before they might have had reasons to be a little bit disappointed, but for Ian to buy into me and for Ian to basically go through this kind of like transition and be the leader and take the lumps and be the guy everyone points the finger at when we lose and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll never forget him. I'll never forget the games that he's won. I'm forever thankful to him.